Hello and welcome to the stream. Doing a re-intro because I'm clicking record now. This is for the VODs as well. But yes, hello everyone and welcome to a Level Story stream. It's been a hot minute. Today we are revisiting the game Gone Home. And I apologize for my voice being the way it is. It is a little raspy right now. I didn't expect it to be as bad when I came on here, but alas, here we are. So, before I jump into the game, I thought it would be worthwhile to go over my history with the game a little bit and also talk about just this game's history in general, because there's a few things of note that I want to go over. So, this game So this game is very special to me because it's a game I played around the time that I was just getting into video games as more of a hobby. I always enjoyed games, but this is one of those games that I played and was like, wow, video games can do that? That's really cool. Apologies if I go quiet sometimes. It's just to clear my throat or cough. I don't think anybody really wants to hear that. But anyway, yes. So this game really surprised me. I didn't know that video games could be like Gone Home. And I really appreciated that at the time I played it. When it first came out, I was put off by the game because of its, I guess I'll say, marketing and just the presentation, as we're seeing right now, the menu screen. It scared me, and I'm not one for scary games. So I decided not to play it, even though a lot of people were. The game was developed by Fulbright, the Fulbright company, and written by Steve Gaynor, who we'll talk about in a sec, starring Sarah Grayson and Sarah, I might mispronounce this, Elmale, and features music from Heavens to Betsy, Bratmobile, and the Youngins, and an original score by Chris Remo, who also did the score for Firewatch, which we will replay at some point on this channel. When Level Story was still a magazine, I had been interested in covering this game to write about it. And actually, this was before Level Story was a magazine. My God, it was when it was still a web series or a YouTube series that I was trying to produce. And I was going to do a season that would talk about this game, Gone Home, and Firewatch. And I put together a PowerPoint and to help myself talk about this game, and wrote just very thorough notes, and ended up struggling a lot more than I expected with it, and put it down and never really returned to it. So I bring that up because I'm sorry, Felix, I didn't mean to scare you. I might revisit some of those notes as we go through this game, because I think that could be kind of fun. I think that would be interesting. So, as a brief aside, I love this game a lot, truly. But I think it was written by Steve Gaynor, who I think also wrote Fulbright's next game, which I'm blanking on the title for some reason. Why am I blanking on the title? Let's see. Tacoma. That was the second game. I believe Steve Gaynor also wrote that. Steve Gaynor ended up leaving Fulbright because of a toxic work environment. I feel like that's just important to bring up. But, you know, understand the complexity of when this game was made. Oh my gosh. It's okay, Felix. My cat just desperately had a moment where he did not want to be on my lap anymore and he couldn't figure out how to get off. Poor baby. Because when this game came out, Gone Home was really celebrated for being an indie darling. It really surprised a lot of people. Again, its presentation lets on a certain aesthetic, and it ended up, the story unfolded and surprised a lot of people, and at the time was in its own way revolutionary. Oh, the music came back. That's good. And so I think a lot of people were surprised when they found out that there was such a toxic work environment, specifically from Steve Gaynor, who wrote this game. I think it's phenomenally written, and it's a shame to hear that news. But it is old news at this point. But, you know, good to acknowledge nonetheless. But I think that's my spiel. A bit discombobulated right now, but we'll get through it. Let's start this game.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so love you. See you soon. Bye.
For me, it's a little loud. Just do that for now. And as I start this game, oh wow, this has directional audio. Wow. Goodness gracious. I just want to say I hope you all are having a lovely Monday evening. So, we came in from outside. It is pouring rain out. And here's our stuff. We are Caitlin Greenbrier. We live in Portland. And yeah, this game very, okay, maybe I'll make the mouse sensitivity a little less. A little better because I was zooming. But all right, let's take a look around. Press right. So fun fact, I've never actually played this game with mouse and keyboard. I have only played it with a controller, so this is a new experience for me. And we have Fizz right. Interesting. Wish there was a way to, like, you know, set it there for me. Oh, okay. I feel like I'm still kind of going really fast with my camera. Wally, hello. Welcome to the stream. And yes, you're from Portland. That's cool. Portland is great, I say, having never been there myself, but I would love to go there. I'm so sorry if I'm causing motion sickness. But yes, Wally, I hope you're doing well this evening. How have you been, my friend? I just got back from Europe. Fun fact. So, this could have been me in 1995. Alright, let's open the door. Okay, we've got... Can I crouch? Oh. Okay. That's zoom. I don't know what that is, but then we've got the Christmas duck. There it is. What the fuck is that light? Oh, I guess that was lightning. Just, it lingered for a long time. I know this game isn't spooky, and yet somehow still feels spooky. Oh, I really just want the duck to stay on here. Oh my gosh. There we go. Can I turn? Oh, I can. Oh, and a key. Let's take the key. We need that. Ooh, you're getting ready for a trip. Can I ask where you're going? But also, it's totally okay if you do not want to share that. But very exciting for you that you're going on a trip. I hope it is a lot of fun. I'm gonna pause this for a second, because I'm gonna check something. I'm opening my Gone Home recording notes from back in the day, in early days of Level Story, and I'm opening it because there's a way to go through this. That's like a pretty straightforward playthrough, and it's been a while since I played, so I feel like I'm not gonna remember that. Again, apologies for the coughing and everything. Oh, that's awesome, Wally. That's really cool, actually. Well, I hope you have fun. That's sick. I was gonna say, how do you, I haven't, like, dabbled much in Pokemon Go, but I think that's really neat to, like, that it's still, there's still stuff happening with it. I think that's awesome. Yeah. My computer is malfunctioning. Okay. I feel like a little all discombobulated today, and I apologize for that. It's the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go? Damn. That's wild. Wild to think about. Alright, I think I've looked around here enough. Wish. Okay, that's how you crouch. Control. Oh, and you don't have to hold it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really cool to hear. Yeah, I'm sure it has come a long way. Alright, so we're at this house. We're here at 1:15 a.m. And we needed to get a key to get in. We see this note, so I'll read that now. Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want anyone, scratched out Mom and Dad, to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you. Sam. Not a worrying note at all. Don't worry, Sam. We're not worried at all. Not concerned about a note like that whatsoever. Especially the part where you write, we'll see each other again someday. So again, when I first read or saw this game and played it, the storm outside definitely didn't help things. Oh my god, and then it's so dark. And the music is kind of creepy. This was terrifying to me the first time I played. Fun fact, when I first played, I don't want to walk forward because it might trigger some dialogue that I don't want triggered yet, but I went up these stairs and went into the hallway, and it was super dark and scary, and I just crouched and kind of sat there for a while because I was afraid somebody was going to pop out of one of the bedrooms. Fun times. So we're going to go to the left first. That's the plan. So let's take a look. Oh god, no. We're not going to keep that off. Let's see, we got some boxes, we have a folder. Not creepy at all. Let's read the invoice. Wellspring Movers. So from Forest Grove. Like, listen to that creepy sound in the background. Like, tell me this game is not... Well, okay, I already know this game is trying to freak me out. I get it. I don't need to be proven that point. How long is the Pokemon Go festival, Wally? They gotta be believable, right? These addresses gotta be believable. Let me take a drink of water real fast. God, that thunder scares me every time I'm like jumping. Holy moly. Something I'll say real quick, and then I'll continue with the game. When I was in Europe, I noticed that I say holy moly far more often than I care to admit. I don't want to be a holy moly gal. I don't want to do that. I need to up my vocabulary a little. This is concerning. Okay. Wellspring Movers. 4th through 7th. Nice. That's awesome. That's a pretty long, event. That's actually really cool. Okay, so we see Terrence Greenbrier. Yeah, I just realized, I'll come
Dear
back.
Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm at a new school, and my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real, but I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you.
All right, we got our first journal at the new house. It's been added to our backpack. Exciting stuff. The reason I paused there was because I wanted... Gosh, I'm sorry. I keep like trying to move the camera and it feels like I'm still whipping it back and forth. Caitlin Greenbrier, all right. Just wanted to confirm that. Terrence Greenbrier, all right. So, all right, we got a mover's invoice. You know, I've never been to Chicago. So I wonder, I bet that will, excuse me. It'd be exciting to explore. Also, something about this game that I should mention is that this game was made in, I mean, not made, sorry, takes place in 1995. Which is interesting because I feel like at the time this game was released, we also had Firewatch, like I mentioned earlier, which the whole thing about Firewatch is that you're talking about walkie-talkies because that's your only form of communication. I believe that game takes place in the 80s, so I feel like there was, I want to say nostalgia for that time, but certainly games being made where they were touching a nerve for like those particular experiences that only you could have had at that time. Oh, layovers, fun. Let's see, we have Author Magazine. Ooh, Stephen King. Somebody's a writer in this house. Band-Aids. Oh, I could have just... That's fine. Toilet paper, let's go. I really don't have to go through everything like I am. Like, again, I have played this before, but I don't know, it adds to the experience. So you have the phone book. Ooh, okay, read itinerary. My goodness, I'm so sorry for the coffee. Okay, so worldwide timetable. Oh, this is actually really interesting. Same, Wally. I was 5. Well, actually, well, yeah, I was 5 in 1995. So we're pretty close together, I'd say, in age. But yeah, this is really cool to look at. And again, definitely places you in the, if I can call the 90s the time period, but truly like the time period which this game is taking place. Actually, I wonder, does it say? Oh yeah, so it says she was in Amsterdam. I'm sure she was all over the place. Zooming in, we just got a bunch of little sticky notes. Let's go over here. Anything in there? I don't think so. Wonder if we ever get a flashlight. That would be super helpful. Actually, wait. Yes. The magic of lamps. Hi, Felix. You want to sit with Mama? My cat is back. He wants the cuddles. But he's unsure how he feels. He wants to sit on my lap, but he's like hesitant, you know? I don't know why. Alright, nothing in there. Let's take a look at this. Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. Mom, Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place is he had a Nintendo when we were little. Alright, well, let's play messages. So true, Wally. Honestly, there were a lot of good things in 1995. Because I don't have chat on screen right now, you know, V8 VHS, Super Nintendo, and Imagination. Hell yeah, Wally. I was gonna say too, like, it is weird thinking about now, like how particular of a time it was. Like thinking about playing Nintendo games back in the day and the excitement of that. It's hard to put the feeling of, or describe that feeling and put it into words. I mean, it'd be nostalgia. Felix, come here. I have an open lap for you, sir. Come here. Come on. Felix is on my lap. He's about to get comfy. And while he gets comfy, I'm gonna play messages.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam. Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so love you. See you soon. Bye.
All right. Felix decided he wants to step on the keyboard. And turn the sound effects down just a little bit. It'd be cool if you started a VHS collection, Wally. My grandmother still has a lot of our old Disney VHS tapes. And I'd say like 10 years ago, I had been encouraging her to sell them because, like, it sucks, but the reality is that they are just sitting there not being used, taking up space. But now I'm kind of glad she kept them. Like, I might not watch them necessarily, but it's nice to have them. And she doesn't mind keeping them, so. You're such a good kitty. Alright, so the phone's not working. Probably because of the storm. Sam, Katie, Mom, and Dad, Jan and Terry. One big happy family. I guess this is us. Oh wait, no, that's not us. That's the mom. This is us. And this must be our sister, Sam. Alright. It's so dark. This is terrifying. Like, again, when I first played through this, I'm like, what the fuck is over there? We can turn on the lights. Press 2 or M to check your location in the house. Sweet. Yeah, I actually do have a VHS player because I spent okay, see, sounds like that freaked me the F out. Like, what the hell was that sound? Anyway, I'm on what feels like an unending quest to copy my family's home videos to digital files and then like save them in date order and then upload them somewhere where they can be viewed by our entire family. And so I do have an old VHS player that I was using to copy those tapes. And I do have another one that's like a VHS and a DVD player, but unfortunately, that VHS player eats your tapes. So not super great. And also, so I had it in a box, just kind of collecting dust. And I took the box out of my closet the other day, because there's other stuff in there I wanted to get out. And I was like, I probably shouldn't keep this. I have other DVD players, and this VHS player doesn't work, so why am I keeping it? And then I had the remote control, and I opened it up, and silly me left the batteries in there, and they're all super corroded. So my father is very good at cleaning that stuff, so either I'll give it to him, or potentially might be trash. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's a cool quest too. I'd love to finish it. The issue is that for a while, the way I was copying the videos was not the greatest, and so for a while, I was having an issue of like the way I transferred them. Like the audio was doing that thing where it was like separating from the video, and so I had this additional quest of having to like resave the videos so the audio synced up properly. But now I have discovered another program that seems to work much better. And I was working with that a lot before I went to Europe in early May, and I ended up kind of pausing because one of the discs kept saying there was an error, and there shouldn't be an error. So I need to figure that out and continue copying stuff. Also, I'm pausing because my cat is like, he's really doing his best to make it so that my arm is not usable. Oh my God, but he's so cute. Gosh, oh, you were such a cutie, Felix. Anyway, let's take a look in this closet. I'm sorry I keep getting distracted. What can I say? This cat's adorable. Exactly, Wally. Exactly. That's a great emote. Is that from Cage Guides? That looks like a Cage Guides emote. We got a Heavens to Betsy pin, which I did talk about earlier, about them being in the game. I hear somebody talking, so I'm guessing a TV is on in another room. Let's read this. Welcome, new student. We hope that you are as excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day of classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. One sturdy folder with pockets for each of your 6 class periods. One lined notebook per period, or one large notebook with 6 divided sections. At least 6 pens, blue or black ink, and 6 pencils. One box of colored pencils, a standard combination lock for your assigned locker, a nutritious lunch, or $2.50 for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria, and a positive attitude. Nice. And also another great emote, Wally. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready for the first bell to ring at 8 a.m. See you soon, and again, welcome. Beth Valance, Principal.
Oh my God. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
This game is a treasure. I really do like it a lot. And if it seems like I'm being a bit vague, it's partially because I am. I feel like I'm always cognizant of the fact that like maybe people haven't experienced something, and I don't want to spoil that, just in case. So we're gonna go through this together. Kind of feels like this one. So, maybe I feel ashamed to say this as a 90s kid, but I didn't watch a ton of Casper. Or at least, like, I know I watched it at some point, but I don't have, like, a good memory of it. There's a postcard that, Katie sent from Paris. This is sent on 8/2/94. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating La Petite Déjeuner. Hopefully I said that right. Probably not. And wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from the Shakespeare Book Company, since you are my favorite sister. Love you. Love you all, Katie. And then she writes weird on the address, which is probably because probably feels weird to her to write a different address than what she's used to. I did not go to Paris when I was in Europe, but I did go to France. I went to a city called Nice and Marseille. All right, yeah, I'll definitely have to give Casper another shot. Not that I wasn't going to anyway, but, like, you know, I just never considered watching it recently. But I'm always down to watch some good 90s movies. We'll pick up that obituary in a second. Wow, it is dark. Doesn't look like our sister. Can I get in the light? There we go. Nothing written on the back. Alright. God. Toss it in there. Pencil, pen. Alright, let's read the obituary. Obituary, gosh. Obituaries. Oscar Doc Mason. Oscar Mason, 60, of Boone County, died peacefully last month in his home. Mr. Mason was born on September 8, 1933, in the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. He attained his degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boone County to practice. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In the decades preceding his passing, he was seldom seen outside his home. A service will be held this Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew, Terrence Greenbrier, as well as, in spirit, the people of Boone County, to whom he provided wellness and comfort. And if you remember, we saw the name Terrence Greenbrier on the moving bill at the front of the house. And here's a picture of him, Oscar Mason, 60, of Boone County. So, I guess he lived here. Anything here? No. Okay. So let's see this. Read this crumpled note. Hey, are you the new girl, Sam? I'm Tommy. I'm at the back behind you. Wave if you get this, and write back. Hi, Tommy. Yes, I'm Samantha, and yes, I'm new. What's up? I just thought since you're new, maybe you could use a friend. I don't have a lot of friends either, and so I thought I'd ask something, if you don't mind. Do you mind? Yes or no? No, I don't mind. What did you want to ask? Was it just your uncle who went psycho, or does it run in the family? So our sister had a rough time. It is very dark. Thank God. Okay, it looks like we're in an office of sorts. Actually, we are very much in an office. Look at this book. The Killing of JFK, a theory. You've seen the movie. Discover the truth. Benjamin Almond. Very bad at putting things back where they should be. I'm gonna set it. There we go. Examine paper. Pioneer. I'm not going to read all of this. Oh, I guess I'll read this bottom part. They say that a jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market for a combination LD/CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular... Just ends there. Interesting. So it looks like whoever was in here was typing this up. Interesting. Open the drawer. Oh wait, I thought I could grab that. Can I not? No, I guess not. Get our receipts. Anything in here? No. Yeah, 3-ring binder. I guess we can't open it. So not really important. Oh. Did I pick up the binder again, or? Okay, I think. Why does it say question mark? Is it covering something up? It is. It's a letter to our current address, I think. To Terrence Greenbrier. Oh wait, from our current address, sorry. To Terrence Greenbrier. Okay. Oh gosh. Can I... Is there a way to read this not like this? We'll try. Dear Terrence, this is August 10th, 1972. I write on what I hope and imagine is a joyous occasion. News reaches me that you are newly married to a wonderful young woman. I have had more than a little time to consider my past and my family, and my thoughts have often lingered on your development and welfare in the 10 years since we last met. Your marriage gives me much reassurance in this regard. You are always welcome on Arbor Hill. I will understand blah 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 if you feel you assuming can't accept this invitation. Yours very sincerely, Oscar Mason. Interesting. Oh, another lamp. Thank God. Read crumpled pages. John Russell opened his eyes and saw them, the stars, twinkling as if he were lying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts, even though that place was a million miles away. No, he blinked the sleep from his eyes looking through the carbon-reinforced safety glass of the space station Archimedes. Yes, he was a long way from home, but the future needed him. John Russell's head swam. He felt incredibly drunk, despite not having touched a drop in hours. He vomited onto his feet, his bare feet. He stared for a moment, processing his sick-flecked toenails, scanning up his bare shins, bare knees. He was completely naked. He looked up and met the eyes of a gorgeous blonde woman wearing a tight polymer fiber tunic. The fabric that strained at the seams to contain her generous bosom was emblazoned with the phrase, matter transference operator. Then he passed out. All right. John Russell had crossed the gap in time. Only messages had passed before, but now a man. They needed him, now more than ever. Changing the past was no longer good enough. The instructions from the council had been clear. What to procure, what to construct from it, how to assemble it. So he made the machine, how to transport him bodily across time. And now he stood, there in the bridge of the starship Archimedes, command. Command of the vessel. Commander of the vessel. Because only he who had saved the president's life twice before could helm the naive crew to their destiny, the fate of the galaxy. So, I mentioned it before, but something that this game does very well, very effectively, is just the way it uses lighting and sound to really procure like a certain atmosphere and really sell you on the fact that like it wants you. Oh, Atonement. Never mind, it's not written by the same author. I was thinking, I love the book Atonement by that is not what this is. But anyway, they're really doing a lot to reinforce the player and trying to tell you what kind of game you're playing, which I think is important thematically, which we will get to in due time. Okay, we have a form. Pacific Insurance Masters. Electrical inspection forms. This is Terrence Greenbrier again for this house. Does the entire electrical system meet local codes? Yes. Are there any deficiencies which need correcting? Unclear. If yes, describe in detail. Wiring in house is technically up to safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into structure over the last 100 years. System is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive to the walls, floor, and fixtures of the structure. After a discussion with Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, issues will not be addressed. Which would explain all the weird sounds happening. The flickering lights and such, even though it is storming, so like, I can explain it too. So we got the telephone directory. That is quite a sound. We're turning that off. Alright, anything over here? Oh, there's a combination we need here. Anything in here? We don't know that combination yet. Okay, so at least I don't think we do. Oh, well, maybe up here somewhere? Any feelings? Could it be 1963? It's probably not, but I'll try that. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. I had to try. So I don't think there's any other like numbers here. You can do better. What if JFK wasn't JFK? Back to basics. Sent back in time to Dallas, 1963 again. State of emergency in Dallas cancels motorcade. JFK poisoned, kidnapped, injured. Why not disrupt motorcade minutes before LHO had fire? Just help LHO and USSR. It's a lot of stuff. Advanced technology will end World War II early. Alright. Let's go in here. Gosh, okay. Alright, let's shut the door. I don't remember if it's important to look at the bookshelf, but I feel like I remember finding stuff on the bookshelf. see, the accidental patriarch, villain, ambassador, messiah, occasional, sometime unreliable, savior, hero. You're in the mountain. Come down from the mountain. The accidental prophet, question mark, the accidental prophet. Okay. We have Fresh, the magazine. May 1995. True stories. I was a teenage drag queen. Readers tell us about their worst moments. 90210. Does anybody still care? You know, that's a great question. Male gaze. How to subvert it. Sarah Holst, not gathering moss. Okay. I really thought there was a journal entry after one of those, but maybe not. Or I missed something, but I don't really see anything else. No. A Stranger Under My Roof. The #1 best-selling advice book for parents of teens. Oh, goody. See. Oh yeah, definitely. They did a good job with those magazines for sure. All right, here we go. A Stranger Under My Roof. Understanding Teens. The teen years are fraught with change of all types: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. But these changes don't just affect your teen. Your teen's turbulent years are a challenge for parents as well. Maybe the biggest challenge you've yet faced since having children. This book holds insights into your teen's behavior, from the very beginning as he or she first enters adolescence, up through the end of the teen years as he or she enters young adulthood. The practical strategies here are based upon well-tested principles of pediatric psychology, presented by Dr. Elisa Mendina, herself a mother of 2 teenagers. Prepare to gain new tools for establishing a productive, healthy, and loving dialogue with the stranger under your roof. I'd never had such a good conversation with my daughter, says Eleanor Shepard, The Atlantic. These simple tools can make all the difference to a relationship with your child. Sean Keller, Northwest Review of Books. Wow. Let's put it back. And I think I do know, actually, where... There we go. Yeah. The Misfits, Saturday, October 29th, plus special guests, Maidenhead, Stygia, okay, that's where it is.
At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous. After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hope she could tell. I really hope that she meant what I think she did. I felt like a shook-up can of soda ever since. I hope we have the chance to talk before I explode.
Something I want to comment on real fast is that I think there's been a conversation surrounding Gone Home for the past few years where people are like, oh wow, like, big deal, like, Gone Home is doing X, Y, and Z, woohoo. But, like, I think we shouldn't discredit this game just because, you know, of, I guess, where we've come since it came out. Like, it shouldn't be understated that this game is written really damn well. And just listening to that journal entry, like, just the way it's written, of just capturing the teenage voice and the way that it's presented, and in combination with the voice acting and the ambiance of where we are, like, I think it does a lot of, there's a lot happening that is really good here, and I think Gone Home should be recognized for that. Also, Wally, I'm not sure if that's a Misfits all-female cover band. But maybe. And if so, that'd actually be pretty cool. They might address that later, actually. Alright. Well, okay, we have our code over here, so we'll come back to that. But November 1st, 1994, Dear Terrence. Also, there's going to be a lot of me reading in this, in these streams, FYI. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non sequiturs from the usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of Home Theater Aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time, and he's the boss. So I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. Brent Kurtwood, Reviews Editor, Home Theater Aficionado Magazine. Oof. And 0451, we have our code. So let's go enter that. Okay, it's from an attorney's office. Dear Mr. Mason, please find and close your original document and a typed copy for your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Okay, so it's will and testament. Oscar Mason. Here we go. You know what? Let me take a drink of water before reading this. Perhaps this was the wrong game to play at this moment with my voice being the way it is, but that's okay. Alright. I, Oscar Mason, possessing full competence of mind and memory, and after full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. Number 1. I declare that I am a lifelong resident of Boone County, that I am unmarried and have no children. Number 2. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name, to any creditors living or dead. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as any and all personal property and moneyed accounts. To my nephew, Terrence L. Greenbrier, Jr. of Ellis County. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbrier, Jr. should predecease me, then and in such event, the bequest to him shall fall, and the same is bequeathed to his children as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribe my name to this will, this 13th day of August 1973. Signed, Oscar Mason. I guess this is the letter itself. All right. Okay, and that's probably... I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I feel like we're potentially missing a journal entry. Also, you see some alcohol up here. Irish whiskey. Why? Oh, why ever would it be up there? I think we've looked at everything in here. Oh, Felix. Alright, Felix, he was done cuddling. He got down. I'm very sad that he's gone. He will be missed. Here's the television that we were hearing.
This is a severe weather warning. The Northwest Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County, Takelma County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
A matchbook. The fireplace. Candles. Hiya. Okay, we have a letter. August 15th, 1994. Hi, Terry.
The Northwest Weather Service reports
Okay,
high
well,
winds
I guess we'll have to
and
kind of
rain
talk over
conditions
this guy.
affecting the
Hi,
following
Terry.
counties:
Enclosed, please find a
Austin
Pioneer
County,
blah, blah, blah
Boone
unit
County,
with remote and
Dawn
cables.
County,
We need a half-page
Takelma
review
County,
from the
and
October
Wistaria
issue.
County.
So that gives you
Residents are
about 2
strongly
weeks to
urged
get us the
stay
copy for
indoors
edit.
and secure all
Standard stuff
windows
like you
and
gave
doors.
us on the
Flood
blah, blah.
conditions are
It's
expected at
a
lower elevations.
combi player. So check its CD playback, a few discs as well as Laserdisc, and they want us to definitely hit the signal to noise ratio and TOS link stuff for high-end buyers. Looking forward to your take on it. Enjoy the unit. Thanks. Let's look at the shipping label.
This
If I
is a
send her a
severe
new
weather
address. Yeah.
warning. The Northwest Weather Service
You know what?
reports high winds
I
and
could just turn
torrential
this
rain.
off. I did it. Alright, actually, never mind. So we got some classic 90s here that we were talking about earlier. Got some VHSs here. We got the lovely red, white, and yellow cables. 4 VHS tapes. X-Files Season 1, episodes 18 through 21. It was the joy of having VHS tapes, is just recording things. That's another thing I have to do. We have a ton of VHS tapes with, like, recordings from TV. Like, something that my dad and brother used to love as a kid is, or when I was a kid and they used to love was, this thing that would play on, what was called, Fox Family back in the day, called World's Greatest Magic. And we still have those VHS tapes. And I really want to watch those again. I'm so curious. I just want to watch for the commercials and just to watch the programming. I think it'll be fascinating. But here we go. Making friends even when you... I'm not sure how to finish that. Sam thought this might help, Dad. Feeling lonely? It's a piece of cake to make friends. Never worry again about having friends to spend time with. This book will teach you to make friends even when you're shy. Oh, even when you're shy.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Nice. Wally, that's awesome. I love that. I think... So I'm thinking about the things I watched on VHS tapes that were, like, recorded from TV. The one thing I remember is, because Disney Channel back in the day used to be premium television, excuse me. And we didn't pay for it, so we didn't get Disney Channel, but sometimes they would have these, I guess, weekends or weeks where they would make Disney like available to people to see, like, hey, this is what you're missing, this is what it could be like. And we would like try to record a bunch of stuff from Disney Channel back in the day on VHS tapes when these preview events, I guess, happened, and or free trials, if you will. And ironically enough, the thing we recorded from there, and I don't know if my memory's playing tricks on me, but like this is how I remember it, but they played The Land Before Time 4 on there, and it was like called Land Before Time Journey to the Mists, and that is what I remember watching on VHS. Hauntings? I was about to say huntings. Hauntings and poltergeists. Find out the truth behind the stories that were familiar even to our pagan ancestors. Discover how to tell a hoax from a genuine haunting. How to categorize and understand strange phenomena you may encounter. Learn about the unhappy spirits that share the earth with us. And what they can teach us about our connection with the natural world. Funny though you mentioned Power Rangers, because I have lots of home videos of me playing with Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. Open pizza box. Empty. Yeah. All right. Okay, we have another button. Bratmobile. I didn't check to see if there were any trophies associated with this game. Probably, though. Also, while I just saw your message, I'm glad that somebody else seems to remember these magic shows, because I feel like, I don't know, like, nobody ever really talks about them, so, like, I never, like, it feels like not a lot of people know about them. Also, I just pulled that because I was curious. Don't actually turn on. I don't need a fan. Ooh, we have the TV guide, or TV listings here. And looks like we have some fans of the X-Files. Crazy that this is how we knew what was on TV back in the day. Another lamp. I missed that earlier. I love also the pillow fort here. Very, very 90s coded. That's a ticket. The Coliseum, the showplace of Oregon. Also, they spell it like Kingdom Hearts spells it, so good for them. Tradition of excellence since 1933. They went to see Pulp Fiction, and it was $5.75. Amazing. I really thought there was a journal entry for that, too, if I'm being honest. So I wonder if I'm missing something. I mean, we haven't explored the whole room, so I probably am missing something. Oh, no, this is going to be a journal entry, I think. Let's grab this cassette and play it. I don't want to keep playing it because potentially it could be copyrighted. Not sure. But I think that gives the gist. Alright, February 3rd, 1978. Terry, hey man, how have you been? I know you're a published author and everything now. My editor at Hi-Fi Aficionado has too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. Naturally, I thought of you. You were saying in your cast letter how much of a pain it's been trying to find a publisher for your latest work of literature. Writing stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch. I misread that as society, so that's why I hesitated when I said that. Listen to some records and write up how it sounds, and then get paid. I've included some issues of the mag to use as examples. If you're interested, send some samples to my editor and tell him your old college chum, Mike, sent you. Here's the address. Do it, Mike. Oh my god. That's so funny, Wally. Yeah, I'm trying to think. All I remember from the magic shows I watched were, there was a magician. Well, first, there's a few I remember. One was this guy named Lance Burton, which my brother was a huge fan of, and I think we had bought like a separate VHS tape of his. And then, what was another? Oh, the Pendragons, which was like, they were a husband and wife couple. And I remember they did a magic trick that we loved as kids. Where like, they were very like theatrical. And I think the husband, like, he jumped up. I can't remember it now. I just remember like somebody jumping into like a blanket or something, and then they tore it and it was not the same person. I don't remember. But I remember thinking it was really cool. Also, wait, what did that say? It's that book Dad wrote. The Accidental Survivor. Oh, we saw the names of the different names he was throwing out there. November 21st, 1963. John Russell knows that the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Not just another James Bond, says T. Wales. Mummy. A high-class political thriller, says Nicholas Wolfe. Removed. Okay. But yeah, chronically watching Fox Family, same. We watched it a lot. I remember... I mean, we were big Nickelodeon viewers, so I was probably watching that a little more, but we had Fox Family on all the time. And I'm like, I'm trying to remember what it was we watched a lot in Fox Family. And it's like, I think the Donkey Kong show, actually, now that I think about it, was on Fox Family. Pretty sure that's where it premiered, at least locally for us. Which, also look at all these tapes, goddamn. This really captures what your VHS collection looked like back in the 90s. Just, this is fantastic. Airplane. Also, you know, I didn't comment on it before, but with the movie ticket, I have never seen Pulp Fiction. I need to watch that soon. But yes, I've never seen that. Toonami, I do remember. God, it has been so long. What do we have here? The Heaven at the Edge of the World. Samantha Greenbrier, grade 2. Story, The Turtle People, part 1. Okay, this looks adorable. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever. Or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! Too bad the thunder was just not a little later. It was the black pirate ship. She yelled, "I thought we lost them at Horse Island." The first mate said, "Looks like you thought too soon." The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "Y'are never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile? The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world, and you'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. "Now west," she said, and the ship sailed towards the sunset. I forgot about Sam's stories, and that's fantastic. Also cool to see that Sam is also a writer. So it would seem. Yeah, Big Wolf on Campus sounds really familiar, but like, I could not picture it. Like trying to place what it looks like, I'm very much drawing a blank. I believe I've exhausted this room. And as I'm playing through this game, it is coming back to me, you know, like all the thematic elements that I had so wanted to talk about on Level Story back in the day. There's a lot of good stuff here in this game, and perhaps, I mean, maybe I would make a video on it in the future, but I feel like Gone Home, the stuff I would say has already been talked about, but I don't know. Alright, I already read that. I don't know, maybe there's something I could add. I'm just really afraid I'm missing something, if I'm being honest. A pamphlet. United States Department of Agriculture, U.S. National Forest Manual, Northwest Region prescribed burn procedures and precautions. Interesting. Forestry Procedure Guidelines, 1986. Do not distribute to the public. Okay. Gosh, it's so dark. All right. Timing, Mimi, or My. Yeah, speaking of Fox Family, it is funny because back in the day, like, Fox Family just kind of rolled off the tongue. And I remember when they changed the name to ABC Family, and I was like, that sounds awful. It takes too long to say. Though in hindsight, you know, we obviously got used to ABC Family, and now that's not even a thing. Now we have, so the Thunder wanted to cut me off. Now we have Freeform, and like, man, what the fuck is that? But, you know, obviously I am biased, and I'm kidding a little bit. Like, who cares at the end of the day what the name is? Open folder, read assignment. All right, Samantha Greenbrier, Reproductive System Worksheet 6. And yeah, I agree, Wally. It's so unrecognizable as Freeform. It's like, it's actually weird to think about it, and it's like, oh, right, Freeform is a thing. That's, interesting. You know, I don't even know. I mean, I don't keep up with any of that stuff, but I don't know what was behind changing the name of the network. I mean, ABC Family was so, when I was a teenager, was so, I don't want to use the word unique here. What word can I use? Like, its programming was so, I cannot think of the right word to use. Like, it had a very specific feeling to the programming that was on ABC Family that, like, you could tell when a show was on ABC Family. Like, remember there was one show called Switched at Birth, Kyle XY, The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Like, all of those shows, I didn't watch any of them, to be clear, but just, like, had a very specific feel. And I remember just the commercials for this programming were so hokey. Like, they were bizarre. Like, I remember even as a teenager, like, we'd be my friend and I would watch ABC Family, and I'd be like, gosh, they're really, like, trying to over dramatize all this. It's so funny looking back. I want to watch those commercials sometime soon. So let me just see something. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a long one. Directions. Below are 2 stories. The events are all out of order. Get a sheet of lined paper. Write reproductive system worksheet number 6 at the top. Then choose one of the 2 stories, A or B, and rewrite. Begin with the title and your name. Find a topic sentence to begin your paragraph. Put the sentences in chronological order. Make sure the last sentence is a good concluding statement. So A is the menstrual cycle. It travels through the fallopian tube. The ovary releases the ovum. About 2 weeks later, I might not read all of this, to be honest. We can move on to this part. Samantha Greenbrier, period 4, health class, Mrs. Myers. Fun fact, my kindergarten teacher was Mrs. Myers. So this is The Menstrual Cycle, a novella. So I'm very excited for this. The early morning of September 1st, 1937? Is that what that says? Essa Glatz stares out the window. Wait. Stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Wilan in Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. Essa's train approaches its destination. Her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Essa steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then, there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs, reaches out toward her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa, and for a time Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind. His legs are missing, bandaged with torn bed sheets. Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. Honestly, A+. Like, great. Love it. But I love that the teacher writes, "See me." I thought it was great, Sam. World history. Oh, yeah. Fun fact. I had this textbook in school. I absolutely had this textbook. I don't remember the back looked like this, but I remember the front of it. If it wasn't that exact one, it sure as hell looks a lot like what I had. Okay, let's see. Open cover. Play record.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd be through. Now that it's happened.
Wow, that was loud. Yes, I do remember the show Greek as well. I really forgot about Greek, but wow. That is unlocking a memory there. Let's see. Bottle here. I am not standing in a good spot for lighting. We have some vodka. We have another bottle, which is probably vodka again. Some soda. Shot glasses just on the floor with whiskey. And look over here. Whatever do we have? Grab Dad's second book. The Accidental Pariah. A message from our future saved the president's life once, but within the next 24 hours there will be another attempt. The lines of communication are down. James Bond for today's audience. Casey DeWitt. Mock now. Compelling. A thriller worth its salt. David Pittman. Faster. This is from Mercury Books. March 8th, 1976. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It's been a pleasure working as your publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. Donald Phipps, publisher, Mercury Books. So that's sad for Dad. I imagine, as somebody who definitely dwells on the past far more than I probably should, I am sure that has lingered with him. He has been in a bit of a rut. Midlife crisis, if you will. The Dave Brubeck Quartet. Hey, I know them. Alright, we went over everything here. What's in this room? Gosh. Okay. All of his books. Oh, that's sad. Oh. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house to visit anytime. Sincerely, Mary Schutz?
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Okay, that was a short journal. So I think we've reached the end of this hall, because I don't think we can get in this room just now. Get locked. Which is okay, because we're gonna go somewhere else. We got lip balm, we got some dice, a bunch of coupons, and a note. Katie, please tell Mom and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Sam. Okay, sis. open that. Hi, Lonnie. So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Write back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6th. Samantha. Yeah, I am totally in. See you there. Then I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
Katie, please, whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad. The attic. Well. Alright, so we're done with this hallway. And that concludes what I called part 1 of this game, which I consider there to be 5 sections. So the next part is up these stairs. Let's go. Yes, this does bring back memories to when I first played this game. And like I said, went into the hallway, went over here and looked and was like, oh my god, that's terrifying. And proceeded to crouch like this because I was afraid that something would get me. Life lessons from Street Fighter, that is a classic. I agree. I love too, like, the little details of this game, like how, because you obviously, like, I've played this before. I am walking around the house in an order that I think fits the way the story would be told in, like, for the most part, the order that it was written in, like, piecing together. But, you know, they are expecting that a lot of this is going to be out of order, right? And I kind of love piecing things together. Like, I commented on the very short little journal entry earlier where Sam talks about how her old friend Daniel got weird over the years, but at least she can borrow Nintendo games from him. And it's like, all right, what's the point of telling us that? But then you realize, like, oh, she borrowed Street Fighter. Daniel got permission from his mom. And Sam must have played that so she could practice, so she could talk to the girls playing Street Fighter. And that's really cool. I love thinking about that and kind of details coming together. And yeah, I just think I think this game is beautifully told. I love Gone Home. I'm so glad I'm replaying this right now. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise above the northeastern region of Boone County over the better part of next week as part of a Forestry Service-run controlled burn of overgrown sections of the Flintlock National Forest. Forestry crews have been preparing the area for months. The burn operation will take place between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly into Thursday, depending on speed of progress, according to the Forestry Service. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation that can lead to wildfires in drier months, the operation will serve as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved, said senior conservationist Janice Greenbrier. Oh, that's our mom. Hey, Mom. Smoke will likely linger in the area through the following weekend. Okay, so our mom... There's a reason we have these forest manuals and stuff. Our mom works is a conservationist. All right. So now, let's turn on the lights. Thank God. I think too, like looking down the hallway and seeing this like yellow sign did not give me hope either when I first played this. I saw that and was like, What the fuck am I looking at? Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Sam form. Notice of temporary personnel transfer. Bruce Pendleton, head of personnel, State Forestry Service. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation. See, what the fuck was that sound right there? That was terrifying. I know I don't need to be scared, but again, I know I keep saying that throughout the stream, but some of the sounds are very scary. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station at Flintlock National Forest, effective September 2nd, 1994. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, Senior Conservationist Janice Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of the transferred personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as the recommendation of the overseeing officer. Signed, Bruce Pendleton, 8/4/94, August 4th, 1994. And, okay, yeah, reading some of this stuff, yes, this is coming back to me. There's so much good stuff in this game. We have a weekly planner here. Assuming it's Janice's. Monday, couples bowling. Wednesday, cooking class, take apron. Friday, ballroom dancing. Monday's bowling. And then we see a few things crossed off. Cook the big meal for Terry and Sam. Okay. And we have a comb here. Very 90s comb. Very 90s comb. Pretty sure I had a comb like that, or my mom had a comb like that. Anything under here? No. Alright, let's go down the hallway. We got some... Oh, a cassette case. Bratmobile. Can I... Oh, okay. Oh, it actually opens. It's so cute. Can I... Yes, there we go. I wanted to see the track listing. Very neat. Can I put it back?
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
This game makes me really happy. Like, so happy. Oh, gosh. And yeah, totally, like, the doll brats. Like, yeah. Alright, let's, Daniel called. Daniel called again. He wants his Nintendo game back. Sam, stop leaving every damn light in the house on. You're as bad as your sister. Read sternly worded letter. Excuse me. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbrier, am 17 years old, and am therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is, frankly, absurd. Compare with Katie, who is only 3 years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own, like a human being. And since you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter, Samantha. It's a very good letter, Sam. And yeah, for sure. I feel like there's this, like the Portland, Seattle area. I mean, Seattle's probably a little worse, but just there's a lot of media, I think, that implies that that it's rainy all the time. guess that's not always the case. I really need to. I've never been to the West Coast. I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to the West Coast. That needs to be my next order of business. Spooky room. Not really. Okay, I'm gonna shut the door. Okay, well, we see over here where the Nintendo was hooked up. Okay, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stick to the side here. Grab a 3-ring binder. All right. We have this. Oh, we can play the tape in here. That is a cartridge. We might find a tape later. Oops. Oh, there it is. I am considering Reconnect next year, actually, because 1, obviously going to the West Coast, and 2, going to Disneyland. Obviously, I've never been. I have only been to Disney World in Florida. And I've been to the other 2 Reconnects. One in Texas and obviously Denver. Which, now that I think about it, Wally, have you attended the Reconnects? Because if so, have we actually like talked there? Because I don't think we actually, or maybe we met briefly. And if we had, I apologize that I'm like blanking now. I feel like there's so much that happened at like Reconnect, and like oh shit, I feel like I lost all memory. Though I will say I was also sick toward the end. Just like I'm sick now.
We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool, cool. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck. I don't wanna sit around and talk about the weather. We're such a good old day. I don't wanna wonder if you're gonna say hello. I don't wanna wonder if you're gonna walk away. I don't wanna hear how many friends you have. I don't have any anymore. I don't want you to tell me what's so cool. I don't wanna go back to junior high school.
Yeah, I was kind of getting into that, but we should stop just in case. You know. Copyright. Which, let's be honest, I probably listened long enough to get copyright. Don't think anything is hidden in here. Okay. Copyright struck, I should say. I'm going to turn that off because, God, the buzzing. Let's see. I wonder what this is. Adventurous the Cat returns. I thought it would be Street Fighter. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Chun-Li moves. Fireball. Hold left and right. Punch. Or left or right, maybe. Lightning kick. Kick, 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 kick. Helicopter kick. Air stomp. These are awesome. I have a notebook that I use for video games and notes from video games, and I have notes kind of like that. Is that? Okay, it's just... Nice, that's cool looking. I'm assuming these aren't actual games. Journey of the Crystal. Okay, what order do I want to do this in? Do I want to go in the closet? Okay, gotcha. I didn't think we'd talk, but I know, I'm pretty sure at least in Denver, that's when I, like, even though we didn't talk, like, in person and meet in person, that is how I ended up, I think we sort of learned about each other through that. At least that's my memory. Sure, let's start with this. Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect for you. So I can't read that. Mrs. Blaylock. Summer pre-college program from Young Scholars, 1995. English creative writing. Fun fact, I was an English major in school. I wanted to be a writer. Have not really pursued that. Well, okay, it's not true. I have pursued writing in a capacity. I have written many things in my life since college, but what I specifically wanted to pursue was writing fiction. And so when I say I don't write a lot and haven't pursued it, I'm really referring to the fact that I haven't written fiction. I think there is a version of this timeline where I would get back into it, but at the moment, just struggling with that. But look at all these cool books. Fantastic. Frankenstein. Very cool. Another button. Misfits, let's go. So we got excuse me. A famous piece of art here. I wonder grab hairbrush. Okay, pretty sure when I pick this up we're gonna get another journal. Goodfellow High School Disciplinary Referral. Student name Yolanda DeSoto, grade 12, date October 20th, 1994, 9:20 a.m. Factual description of incident. Mr. Benchlead observed Ms. DeSoto wearing a t-shirt with an unacceptable image on the front, a large beer can labeled Habs Blue Ribbon. Okay. Ms. DeSoto was sent to the guidance counselor's office. Action taken by faculty. Ms. DeSoto was given the option to turn her shirt inside out, change into a shirt from her gym locker, or be suspended for the rest of the day. Ms. DeSoto chose suspension. Her father was called, but there was no answer and no answering machine. Ms. DeSoto must return this form tomorrow signed by her father. Wonder, are they trying to forge a signature or something? Why is this here? Hell yeah, Wally. That would be awesome. Honestly, to just love hearing that you're thinking about a future MC submission. It's funny you bring that up because I was actually just thinking about that today. Because a submission that I wanted to do for this year was writing a video essay in Kingdom Hearts 1 and talking about well, a lot of things. I won't go into all of it, but like just kind of I had an idea but then never really got around to really fleshing it out and just never really put pen to paper. Ended up not obviously making a video, but I really need to focus and get something together for MC7 because I would be devastated if I don't submit something for the final March Caprice. You know, obviously March Caprice is it's a very important event for me, and I would be very upset with myself if I didn't do something for the final one, you know. So I definitely need to start thinking about that a little more. Maybe it won't be a video essay, maybe it'll be fiction, maybe it'll be a written essay, or maybe it'll be something else. Who's to say? Because I was thinking maybe I could do another Let's Play, but then I was like, well, I mean, I don't have any plans to play through another Kingdom Hearts game on the channel, at least not through a Let's Play. Maybe, you know, Twitch stream, but, you know, by that time I'll be finished. My hope is that I'll be through Birth by Sleep. I don't know if I want to do a live stream. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Okay. Let's read this. Hi, Lonnie. I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It's what all the cool kids are doing. I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages in their beepers. But we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper. And you've got this incredibly cool picture of a cat on a motorcycle. Your drawing of cats was so good that I added a background to make it even better. Maybe I should just stick to writing though. Haha, I like it. How did you know they were about to be abducted by aliens? I'm looking at Mr. Fish right now. I feel like he would probably have lots of cats. Also like his secret shame is he watches 90210 religiously. I'll ask him about it after class. He said he doesn't have cats and also that he's never watched 90210, but I could see in his eyes he was lying. It's very funny. Yeah, heck yeah, Wally. Grand finale of March Caprice. Gotta do something. Oh, I thought there would be a journal after that. I guess not. Let's turn on this light. We gotta have a magazine. Groove. Exclusive. AIDS in Africa. Soul Asylum Live. Eddie Vedder. Weezer. Yeah. Pretty cool magazine, I'd say. That's something. The Brother 150. This is the one me and my dad are building. Want to go for a ride when it's done? Here's the exciting new Brother 150, a bike with speed, style, and impressive get up and go. The Brother 150's reliable 4-stroke engine produces speeds that will surprise you. A 2.5-gallon tank provides the ability to ride for longer distances. I think we're going to get a journal after this one. No, really? Okay. Maybe this. Name, Samantha Greenbrier. Year 11, teacher Fletcher, period 5, subject shop 1, assignment metalworking, engraving. Grade C-. Notes. Not a challenging assignment. Metal plaque for family portrait. Reasonable subject, but not complex. When I said that mom and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Acceptable leveling and edges show more pride in work. I feel like I can relate to that. And heck yeah, Wally, I really hope I'm gonna make a real effort to go to Reconnect. I really want to go. And then we'll get to meet in person. Which is always fun. Love meeting online friends in person. And also, yeah, not surprised that this is in this game. Where is that journal? For sure, we already read that. Anything under here? No. Wait, what did that say? It's Steggy. Huh. Yep, I believe. We can't get in the locker yet because we need the combination. And I think we'll probably get that here. I really thought there was a journal in here. Like around just this area, but I guess not. Unless... I don't know. Let's keep going. Got Your Number, the board game. Who's got a crush on you? Are you going to the dance with anyone? Interesting. Definitely a 90s game there. Man, Sam had this in like 4th grade. My god. Definitely an homage to Lisa Frank. Got to love it. Toss it because the book, the Holy Bible. And we have the collar. Mitten. Aww. Okay, we got a chapter here. The King's Labyrinth, Chapter 2, Fraying Threads. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cavern of the labyrinth. She and the first mate, on their own now, grew closer to their goal, the throne room of the dead immortal king of the island. First mate slid down the line into the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. Silken thread, nigh unbreakable thanks to the enchanted moths that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, a moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer. It turned into words from some ancient language they could not understand. The king's cursed voice, the hairs on Captain Allegra's arm stood on end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked on the blackness of the passage for a moment, too long before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. Following the king's ghostly song deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, they came upon a rocky gap spilling forth otherworldly blue light. The great basin of the dead king's throne room lay below. Skeletal in rotted robes, the king was hunched over the blue orb topping his royal scepter. Shadows of his bony fingers danced on the walls like ghouls. As he sang, wailing souls flowed in one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, pulled into the orb, causing it to glow brighter and brighter. Behind the king, a long staircase hewn from rock led down into the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, "We have the advantage in numbers. I will draw his attention, and then you—" But the first mate interrupted. "No, I am smaller and quicker, and you know of dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side, get the king's attention, and lead him on a merry chase." She held up the silk line, all traced by this invincible thread. Of course. Allegra said, "It is a good plan, but perhaps we should go together." The first mate shook her head. "You know this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me." I was really trying to get through that without coughing. They grasped hands and exchanged 3 tight squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, gave a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly across at the top of the stairs where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his... Wait, no. No, the singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. She tried tugging on the line to signal her. No use. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop. Even from across the yawning basin, Allegra could see the first mate's eyes grow wide. She turned and ran. Summoning his undead power, the king left the ground, levitating, gliding behind her with distressing speed. From some dank passage much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate scream. She was already running toward the sound. The line in Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. As Allegra ran, she was gathering line, twisting it around her arm. She came to its end. The unbreakable thread dangled limply, its end shredded and frayed in her hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. Lovin' these stories from Samantha. Samantha. S is for special. A is for adorable. M is for merry. A is for affectionate. N is for nice. T is for thoughtful. H is for honest. And A is for admirable. Yeah, very 90s, once again. Okay, so nothing in here. Huh, okay. I wonder... Oh, okay. I guess let's go here. Hey Sam, do you want to see Pulp Fiction after school at the Coliseum? It came out last weekend and Todd won't shut up about it. So either it's good or we can make fun of him for liking it. My mom is supposed to cook dinner for us tonight for a change, but I can just ditch out on it probably. What time? Also, isn't that movie supposed to be really violent? Am I going to barf? According to Todd, it is pretty hardcore. I guess Uma Thurman gets stabbed in the heart with a heroin needle, so that's kind of hilarious. Also, something about cheeseburgers is important. Todd wants to see it again. 7:15, okay? Don't barf. Haha, alright, see you then. Okay, so that. I guess. I guess I'll go here first, then I'll make my way around. Yep, this is the bathroom. Toothpaste, nail polish. Cinnamint. I just realized that's what I meant to buy today. Toothpaste. Damn it. It's okay. Okay, lots of normal bathroom things. What did that say? Oh. Lonnie rules. Cute. Okay. Wonderful. We'll get to that in a second. Guess this one's broken. Yeah. Okay. Hope I didn't miss out on something by doing that. Alright, well. What is this? Is it blood? Oh, it's a red hair color. Semi-permanent.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, I need to fix these roots. Think you could help? Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked in the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited, and the moment was gone.
Chef's kiss. It's not apparent already. Obviously, this game is subverting our expectations in the most beautiful of ways, creating a spooky, my gosh, excuse me, spooky house, spooky environment, and sort of dispelling a lot of that spookiness through the things we're learning about the house, but also kind of not dispelling some of it, like it's spooky in ways that maybe are not apparent on the surface. And then we get to this bathroom with what looks to be blood in the bathtub, and get a journal entry so beautiful from it. Like, it is astounding the ways this game... Oh, did the stream drop? That's annoying. Let me check something real quick. It definitely seems to be struggling. If you can hear me, is it still dropping? Does it seem like it's stuttering a little? Because on my end, it looks like it's stuttering a lot. Okay, looks like it's kind of getting back to normal. Here, hang on one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I had to step away for a second. I think stream does seem to be back to normal though, from what I can see. I'm not exactly sure what just happened. I think the internet just decided to implode or something. I don't know, but we do seem to be back to normal. So let's hope it stays that way. Though I will say that might be a sign, because I probably should end stream soon anyway. But I think... ooh, you know, okay. Maybe that is a sign. Maybe I will... Second before that. Okay, interesting. Weird, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I think I might end the stream here anyway, because there's a lot more to this upstairs, and I kind of don't want to get too deep into it, because then I'll want to keep going. But my hope is to come back to this game at another point this week, and potentially finish it this week. We'll see. But yeah, and also give my internet time to rest, because apparently it's a little confused right now. But anyway, that is the start of Gone Home, and I feel like we really are just only getting started. Just getting started, excuse me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting, Wally. It's been fun. I don't know when I'll be streaming next, but perhaps possibly Wednesday, but I'm not positive yet. But excited to continue with this game, and hey, excited to be playing it during Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, y'all. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It's been fun. And I am going to, I think... Well, I can hear my cat meowing in the other room. So I think what I'll be doing is I will be playing with my cats and cuddling with them for a little bit, and then heading to bed. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting, Wally. And hope you all have a nice evening. So good night.